Today we're going to be working on a 2008 Infiniti G37. We're going to be installing a backup camera, and we're going to show you how to run all those wires and where to connect them. So we've got our reverse camera hooked up on the license plate, and we ran it through a grommet right here. We've run that up and we put some of our slack here, and on this side we're going to be running down the passenger side the RCA, and then over here on the driver's side I have the power wire and ground wire, which will be connecting at the ground here and at the reverse wire here. So we're going to be using a multimeter here to test the reverse wire. You want to have it in this DC setting here. You can also see the DC there. And then we're going to be connecting the black probe, which is going to be our ground. That'll be going to the ground on the chassis, and then the red one here will be going to our wire that we're testing for reverse. So we're ready to test our wires here. We're going to put this on our ground, the black probe. And then this one in the upper left, it's going to be a black and white wire. We're going to test that one because it should be our reverse. And right now we have 0 volts. And then if we shift into reverse, we should see 12 volts. There we go. So right now it's 11.2. It's because the vehicle's not on. But as long as it's around 12 volts, that'll be your reverse wire. And then if we shift out of reverse, it should go back down to 0. There we go. So we know that this black with a white stripe wire is the one that's our reverse wire. So we're ready to connect our reverse wire here, which will be the red one, to the factory reverse wire. And we've just unplugged this connector from down here. And we're going to isolate that black with a white wire. And then we're going to use our strippers to strip back some of the shielding. Just like that. So we've got some exposed wire here, and I'm using flush cuts here just to pry it apart. You can use a flathead screwdriver, it's just something we have on hand. And once you've done that, then we're going to take our red wire here, and we're going to strip close to like 1.5 inches. We're going to twist that together so we can push it through the hole that we just made in the wire. And once you're through, then we're going to wrap it around on the back side. And then we're going to wrap the rest of it around here. And once you've got that on there, we're going to use some electrical tape just to insulate it back so it doesn't short out. And then if you want to make sure that this doesn't come loose, you can also take a smaller zip tie like this and zip tie them together at the bottom so that way the wires can't be pulled out. And now that we've got that connected here, we're ready to connect our ground, and we'll show you how to do that. So for the ground here, we're going to be using a spade bit like this, or a forked bit. We're going to be stripping this back. We will put this on the ground wire, and then we'll put it in here to tighten it down. So we'll do that real quick. Since the wire is very thin on this ground wire, I like to strip a little bit extra and get it twisted up a little bit thicker, just so it'll stay in this forked connector better. And from here, we're going to use our crimpers. Now that we've got that attached, we can just put that in our ground here and tighten this back down. There we go. So now we have our camera connected to reverse for power. So when we enter reverse, the camera will turn on. And then we've got our ground hooked up here. So the last thing we need to do is run our RCA to the front. So we've got everything connected, and we've ran our wires underneath this piece of trim right here. As you can see, it comes out on this corner down here, and then we've got the RCA taped up here on a longer zip tie. We're going to run that through this back little pocket here, and it should come out right below the seat, the back seat. Alright, so we've got the zip tie right here with the RCA at the end. So we're just going to pull this through. And to get out the back seats here, there's just two little clamps on either side here, and you just pull up on the back seat and it'll pop loose. And once we've got all of our slack pulled through, we're going to continue to run the camera down this right passenger side of the vehicle. Alright, so we've got all of our slack pulled through, and now we're going to run this behind the seat belt here. And then from here, we're just going to follow this wire loom on the side all the way down the passenger side. So to get our wires down through this side of the vehicle, we're just going to pull up on the corner here of this trim. And if you just pull up on it and back towards the back of the vehicle, it'll all come out. And now with this wire loom that's all down here, we'll follow that up to the front. So we've got our camera ran to the V-line now in the glove box, and we're going to plug that into the back plug on the V-aux right here. And now we've got our camera fully connected and we're ready to test it. So we've got our backup camera installed now and powered off reverse. So now when we shift into reverse, the camera is going to get power and then it'll show up on the screen. And so now that the camera's appeared, our reverse lights are on and the vehicle's in reverse. Then when we shift out of reverse, the camera loses power and then flips back to where you were.